Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, the 6th of March today, and I'm Michelle Carpenter. I'm an international medium and direct channel for the Council of Eight, Angelic Beings of Light. And I don't know why I'm doing this with my eyes right now, but it's the weirdest thing. Anyway, I'm back. Okay, I felt like I had to introduce myself there, guys. But for those of you who know me, welcome. For those of you who are following me, thank you. For those of you who are still liking and subscribing and commenting, I really appreciate you all for walking this journey with me. So, the last few weeks I've been navigating life, and as you know, those of you that are here, I honestly feel like a big part of my journey, a big part of my purpose in this life is to bridge the difference between the human experience and the spiritual. We all know that we are spirit and spiritual lights, yet we are here experiencing the humanness of being human, and those come with emotions. So for me last week, I was like a shit magnet. Oh my lordy lord. Had some fabulous little life lessons, and eventually I was just like, okay, universe, I need to stop. I need to just stop this because I don't know what the hell's going on. And it was fascinating because for me, yes, I still have expectations of others, and my expectations of others is that those of us that are working in this field, who are working in the spiritual realms, have compassion and have empathy. And what I came to learn 2 weeks ago, last week, I don't know, I can't even figure out the timelines anymore, is that no, that's not true. And sometimes, guys, I can absolutely own the fact that I can be incredibly squirrel-like, and I'm really learning to navigate my business in a different way, setting some very firm boundaries, which feels uncomfortable, has felt uncomfortable too. And what I mean by the boundaries is, I'm on so many different platforms, and I'm kind of reining it all in as best as I can. I receive messages, emails where human beings are reaching out of complete and I was going to say complete and utter desperation. And that even feels egotistical to say that, but I know there's a lot of desperate individuals out there, and I will answer each individual email. I promise you that. I might not answer it within a day or a week, but where I was going with this is, there's something that's lingering for me, and this is about where I wasn't listening to my gut. I wasn't listening to my intuition, and I was going to book in with a session with someone, and it just kept being delayed, and she had said to me, "No problem, you'll know when the right time is." Again, that's what I would say. I'm like, "Yep, when it happens, when it aligns, it's perfect. It always is in the moment of present and being present." Anyway, she had thrown out a date, and like I say, I'm on many different platforms, and my life is busy. And I'm really harvesting and nourishing what it feels like to be balanced. But I know at times that I'm just on, and that's where I become like a squirrel, and my nervous system goes into an automatic response where it goes into the sympathetic, and then I get tired. And I actually didn't answer this message until like a week and a half later. I was given a day and time, and I never got back to this person. And I sent a message saying, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Geez, I got so caught up in life and all these platforms." Anyway, didn't receive an ideal message back. But basically, bottom line, clink, done. I'm learning at the age of 51 that it's okay to not be liked by everyone. Very hard life lesson, let me tell you. Very. Because I want to be liked by everyone. That's impossible. I don't know where the freaking hell I got that fantasy or that fairy tale thought from, because it's impossible. Not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to like my work. Not everybody's going to like what I do. Not everybody's going to like what I say. But it was an assumption on my part and an expectation, because I've come to learn that life happens sometimes, most times. It's always happening, actually, now that I hear myself saying that. Because we have this, that's a statement, life happens, shit happens. And unfortunately or fortunately for me, I always look at where I can take personal responsibility. And I had to go, shit, the 4 agreements, be a person of your word. And it's what I'm really striving towards. Maybe that was my excuse. Life happens. But sometimes it does, guys. Sometimes I cannot keep up with everything. It's impossible. You know, I'm one person running my business. My husband helps me. And I love, love, love what I do. And I love receiving these emails and I love reading your comments. But on the flip side of the pendulum, there's a lot of lessons that I'm learning in walking towards what I've been shown. And what I mean by that is I've been shown, I'm very visionary, so I get shown where I'm going with my business, what's happening, and it's a tough one because I do want to be liked by everybody, but I'm not going to be. So I've had to learn, and I'm learning to become thick-skinned, and it's not good or bad, it's not right or wrong, it just is. So, yep, cut off that friendship, connected with somebody else who I hadn't spoken to for a long time. And then I was blamed. You did this to me the last time. But what she didn't realize, because we again had kind of said we would catch up the next day. And I'd heard some really, really devastating news. And I just had nothing to give anybody on that specific day. So the next day I woke up to this message. I'm really confused. You did this to me last year. And I was like, what did I do? Like, what's stopping you from reaching out and finding out what's going on in my world? But that takes me to victim mentality. So when we're blaming each other, we become victims of ourselves. So it was fascinating because I, again, apologized and said it wasn't my intention to not connect that day. But I just realized that some people just freaking lack empathy, guys. What stopped these human beings from saying, hey, Michelle, just wondering, you know, did you get my message? Hey, Michelle, just wondering. We said we're going to catch up today. Is everything okay? But it's interesting how people still make life about themselves. And I can do that too, especially in the dynamic of my marriage, okay? We still are these little children that are having this internal struggle at times to be seen, to be liked, to be heard. So remember, that's also playing itself out. But the adult in me is going, but then we find someone who does understand. And I'd had a booked in time, booked in connection with a friend of mine in the UK, and something had come up with my son that I had to go and pick him up from basketball. And I sent him a message. He was getting up early in the morning because it's his morning, my evening that we normally chat. And we do some meditations and we just uplift one another. And I knew he was getting up early. And I sent a message saying, I'm really sorry, but this has come up. No problem. He understood. No blame, no problem. Got it. Those are the kind of humans that we are wanting. I most certainly am realizing. And after these last 2 ding, ding, disconnects, okay? Don't you just love my sound works? I feel like I've got a lot of sound coming out of me. I'm pretty good with sound effects. My sound works. I don't know why. Anyway, I digress once again. Squirrel, come back, Michelle. Damn it. Okay, so where I was going with that is after these 2 little cuttings of the cords and disconnecting, obviously I still think about these human beings because we know that they're still around, they exist, and it doesn't mean I don't like them. I'm just wanting people to show up in the way that I would show up, which is an expectation, I know. But sometimes you just got to say, I'm done. Cut the cord. And what was fascinating for me is, and I have a little chuckle because I used to think that I'd have a bus where I can invite many different human beings onto my bus and we can all get on with each other and just, show up in a space of love. And again, just remember, I'm here to share about the human in me. and the experience of being spiritual. And I decided I'm going to now have a mini. My mini is going to be small. And I think I've actually shared this with you guys. And I think I'm going batshit crazy right now because I kind of feel like I'm in between two worlds. Like, have I? Have I not? Did I share this? I can't remember. And I feel like this is where we are shifting massively at the moment. Because, like I say last week, geez, I was just connecting and collecting old energy. Connecting, collecting, storing. And that's what we do when we don't speak our truth, when we don't say things, okay, we store. So I felt like I was in contraction and I was just bringing it in. The contraction of the old anger, the old frustration, the old suppression, whatever the emotion is where I say I became like a shit magnet. And it was quite interesting how I decided to say to both these human beings, from the best place that I could, you know what? This is one of the most unkindest messages I've received, and I'm done. I feel unsafe. So as little kids, when we do not feel safe around others, we do not feel that we are being held, we're not feeling that we're being nourished, we do not feel that we can trust other human beings. And this has been a big thing in my journey, especially coming from me being sexually abused. You know, a big part of my learning has been to trust men, to really see men for the essence of who they are and not the actions or the behaviors. So for those of you who are listening to this that have been or are learning trust, know that it takes time, guys. It really does. And it hasn't been instantaneous for me, let me put it that way. But the beauty of acknowledging those emotions, cutting those cords, and sitting in, why am I attracting all of this at the moment? There's some old anger that needs to come up, needs to surface. And I decided to do some breath work. I decided to do some hectic pacing walks, swearing, getting it out of my body about the people that I was upset about. And it was not only about these people, there was some old emotion coming up around my ex-husband 20 years ago. I was like, but it was also some of my old intergenerational emotion from my mom. My mom did not like men a lot of the times. And I don't know her full version of her story, so I can't talk about it. If I did, I would be able to express. My mom was just, if I was to say, have a closed heart, very soft woman, but she closed herself off. And I feel like she was betrayed many times. Actually, I know she was betrayed. My dad had affairs. Her father had affairs. So you see how it's all interconnected. It's all comes up and it's all what we carry. So I had to release that. And I did over this last weekend. And it was big. It was massive. Like I could feel my mom's energy being strong and angry. And after I released that, life has just gone ding. Like I just feel like I'm back in my vibration again, back into connection, manifestation, and just great strong connections again, and just being seen in a space of love again. So I want to share with you guys, please come and join us in the Council of 8 community gatherings every Monday morning, 9 a.m. to 10:30 New Zealand daytime, which is the Sunday the rest of the world. So for those of you who are in Pacific time, 12 p.m., Mountain time, 1 p.m., London, 8 p.m., Central European time, 9 p.m., Central Standard Time, 2 p.m., Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m., South Africa, 10 p.m., Cairo, 10 p.m. Might be a little bit late for you guys. But for those late night owls, you can book in the last minute. I think 5 minutes before you can book in if you feel like you're not sleeping and you want to connect with these incredible tribal humans who are showing up in compassion, in love. We had one of the ladies driving her car this week. She connected in and then she pulled over when she could. And I didn't channel this week. I didn't bring the Council of Eight through, but we helped a human being to heal. And he shared his story with us and what had actually happened. And oh, my soul, guys, it was nothing short of magnificent. And I want to read to you one of our beautiful people within the group that had actually shared this with me on a message afterwards. Thank you for holding our tribe space. Thank you for holding our tribe space. Today was a profound group session. The energy was so powerful and amazing. Really hope this gentleman receives his healing and blessing. We were crying. And I sat there going, wow, this is not just about anything else except love for a human being who's so, in my opinion, gives out so much love and is learning to receive and trust the love that is coming back to him. So please come and join us. It's every Monday morning. And I never know how it's going to go. You know, we work through past lives with individuals. I do channel. Most times I've channeled. I share life experiences. Sometimes they hold space for me. And this is what we are really wanting, I believe, to find more of, is human beings that are there for one another, that show up for each other in a space of true love. You know, we all have perceptions of what love looks like, feels like. We interpret what love is about. I'm still learning to love myself, and I'm still learning to love my husband in the way that is so pure. And we know it's there. And we've been through, you know, my hope is one day that we've been guided, that him and I will share some of our journey together on here. And he said he's not ready yet, so I'm respectful of that. But guys, when we let go all the old stories and we find forgiveness and we tap into pure love, nothing else exists in that world. Nothing. And I'm getting teary because I can feel it. I can feel how it's here. And I said to my husband, you know, only love and fear, that is exactly where we're at in our humanness. We know our spirit teams are here to show up for us, to guide us. But when we're in that real truth, and when we're holding space for ourselves, nothing else exists, because that's all our soul knows. It's all it knows. So these are absolute tears of pure bliss and love. And I hope you guys, as you're listening to this, can feel this too. And I feel incredibly honored and blessed that, you know, we're not the biggest group. I want to let you know that. The maximum we've been is 20. And it's been incredible how we all walk away from this Council of Eight community with something that is pure and something that is powerful. And I can see that this is the world that we are wanting, where we see that one human being is sitting in pain and suffering, whatever that pain and suffering is, and we just show up. And that for me is how the tribes are. That's how they are, guys. You know, just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So please come and join us. And like I say, every Monday morning, New Zealand time, 9 a.m. to 10:30. And if you're not too sure of your time zone, if you go to my Calendly and book it in on my website, michellecarpenter.so, suck your toe. I don't know why I say that. God. michellecarpenter.co.nz. And I can hear Deanie's voice right now. How does she go from crying to laughing? I don't know, Deanie. But I just want you to know that it's just part of who I am, and like and it's a very different place to sit in the emotions. And when I feel it, it's just like the feeling of the pureness is here, and the feeling of the pureness is in the joy too, in the laughter. So, and you know me, guys, I laugh at myself. So michellecarpenter.co.nz, or NZ, as you say it in the United States, and you'll be able to click into your time zone. It's normally around about your lunchtime, as I've read you those dates. So please join us. I look forward to honoring all of you and holding space for all of you. We had a beautiful 2 weeks ago. We had a beautiful monk up here. I was like, oh my God, what? Like, I just felt the essence of who she is, and I felt incredibly honored. So, not to, push anyone out or say that one person is more pure than the next, because it's not about that. It's about what shows up, and we all contribute. I ask everybody in the group if they want to. What are you getting? What are you seeing? What are you sharing? And that's what this week was about. So this is about evolution. This is about how we're evolving. And I just allow it to come through in the present moment, because I never know. I never know what's going to show up, who's going to be in the need of the healing or the space of being vulnerable. And it's an absolute privilege and honor to see every single human being that's a part of this group that has something to offer and to share, because we are all of us are spiritual lights. There's no other way except in our humanness to find the true compassion and love within us, and then we're able to see it on the outside. So to go back to these stories I was sharing earlier on, I wasn't being loving and kind to myself somewhere. I was trying to people please, and I was overextending myself. So to those human beings that I cut the cords. I said, I'm done. I thank them, I honor them for being my greatest teachers, because we all have teachers. And I look at everybody as a great teacher, because when I'm triggered, I've got to look at what that trigger is about, because that person is showing it to me. So they were wonderful teachers, and I'm learning to be okay with not being liked. So guys, from my heart to yours, love is why we are here. And we know that it is about, we know it at the core of who we are. We know that it is about true unconditional love. So I love you, and I wish you the most blessed week. I'm starting my Keeping It Real again, my podcast. So please, if any of you have a story to share, if any of you know of anybody who's keen, please send them my way, michelle@michellecarpenter.co.nz. That's my email address. I love you guys. Wishing you the most remarkable day. Have a week of fabulousness. Bye, guys.